So today we're going to be talking about cellular shades, also called honeycomb blinds. This is one of those products that's been around for a very long time. It's not going away. We get a lot of questions about this product, and I'm going to try and break it down into a few different styles. The short version is, since the Health Canada regulations changed in 2022, this is now the only, or one of the only styles that's allowed to be top down, bottom up. One of the main reasons that honeycomb shades or cellular shades are so popular is that they're actually the most energy efficient product on the market. So they have a cellular structure that actually works in both seasons. It acts as an insulating product between the glass and the home. It helps keep the home cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter. Another one of the reasons that honeycombs are so popular is because they're one of the only products that you're able to do a top-down, bottom-up shade with and control that light and the directionality in a few different ways. Now, that being said, there are a few different ways that you can tackle that. And of the 16 brands that we carry that offer honeycomb shades, they all have something unique and something different when it comes to top-down, bottom-up. Basically, there are two styles of different shears that you can go with. One of the more popular options is called Clearview, and that's from Hunter Douglas, and that's where you can actually see through the shear quite a bit more than the other products. Most other brands are gonna have a semi-shear option like this, where it's gonna be a little bit more difficult to see through, but a much better price point. In both scenarios, you're gonna be able to do a blackout or a privacy light filtering or semi-opaque on the bottom. And with some brands, you can actually even mix it up and have a blackout or a semi-opaque on the bottom, and then a semi-opaque or a blackout on the top. So there's some really unique ways to control the light in terms of which material is going on the top and which material is going on the bottom. Then there are a couple brands that offer options where there's no shear on the top. There's a frame system that we carry from several different suppliers, and there's also a band system. We have a 1/4-inch white metal band. If we're looking for that energy efficiency, if we're looking for some of those other key features of the product, like the tight light gaps, that energy efficiency, the sound absorption, that insulation factor, but we don't care about top down, bottom up, then you can actually even get a cellular roller shade, which looks like this. So that's basically a combination between a roller blind and a cellular. So it's giving us the clean, sleek look of a roller, but the energy efficiency, sound absorption, and tighter light gaps of a blackout or a honeycomb shade. One of the major benefits of honeycomb or cellular shades is the fact that they have the tightest fit or the smallest light gap when it comes to doing a blackout shade. The reason for that is that the shade is actually cut to the width of the traveling rail, whereas many other products, the shade is cut to the width of the tube that it's rolling on. So you get a much tighter fit inside the window when you're trying to get a blackout effect. As you can see here, the gap is closer to 1/4 or 3/8 of an inch. With many other products, you could be anywhere from a 1/2 inch all the way up to 1 inch. So if we're looking to black out a room and we don't want to add drapery over top, honeycomb and cellular shades are by far the best option. When it comes to controlling honeycomb or cellular shades, there are a lot of different options. Because we carry so many different brands and there's so many different styles and systems of control, minimums and maximums based on the size of the shade, it's really important to make sure that you get the right control for the right scenario. So if you have an extremely high window where it's difficult to reach the top, doing something that's cordless where you're just pushing it up and down is probably not going to work, and you may want to motorize the shade or use some type of wand system. We're going to show you a few of the different products in action in a minute. When it comes to controlling honeycombs or cellular shades, there's basically 4 ways that you can do it. You can have a completely cordless shade where you're just manipulating the shade, moving it up and down. You can have a wand system, whether that's a pump wand or a power wand, or you can have it fully automated or motorized. It really just depends on the brand, the size of the window, the fabric that's being used on the shade, and the control system that's going to fit in that application. The 3 most popular are by far cordless, motorization, and the retractable wand. So let's take a look. This first system is one of the retractable wands. What's really cool is that you can actually give it a single tug and drop the entire shade, whether that's dropping the shear or dropping the blackout, okay? You can position that middle rail anywhere that we want in the window, which is also really cool if we want to have some privacy from the street or from our neighbors and still bring light into the space. Another one of the most popular ways that we control honeycomb shades are cordless or motorized. With cordless systems, you literally just touch the shade and move it into the position that you want it to go. The nice thing with this is one of those frame systems where there's nothing on the top of the shade. It does require a side rail to be installed, but this is super slick and super clean looking. We don't often do this on larger windows because this typically maxes out around 72 inches. One of the other really popular ways to control Honeycomb and Cellular Shades is motorization or automation. For example, this shade here, whether it's on a schedule, the touch of a remote, or using the app, you can actually have the shade raise and lower at specific times a day without ever having to touch it. So with the power wand system, you just give the wand a tap and you can run the shade up, the middle button to stop it or set the favorite position, and the bottom to run it down. So it's a very sleek, simple system, easy to use. Not every brand has this option, but several of them do. This is the band lift where you have the 1/4-inch white metal bands. So with the band lift, you're always going to see these 1/4-inch white metal bands. The number of bands is determined by the width of the window. It can be anywhere from 2 to 3, depending on the size. They're always going to be visible, but the nice thing is then you don't have the shear on top.